Hey everyone, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Sydney.
Welcome to our next episode of Laundry Day, a safe space to air things out. This show allows for people to share their stories, their thoughts, their experiences, or questions completely anonymously. And you send us your questions or your situation, and we'll talk it out.
Yes, we're all humans and we all go through so many different things. Shame and judgment does not exist here. We listen and we don't judge. So we had a couple of people write in and share what's going on in their life. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it.
Let's get into it.
So, yes, the first one is my roommate and I are in the same industry. I showed her my portfolio solely for information or for inspiration. Last week, I overheard her in an interview for a dream job, and she was using my exact portfolio, project stories and all, word for word, as her own. She got the job. Should I confront her or keep silent?
That's money that you're messing with. That's crazy.
That is.
And not even just money, my thoughts, my projects, my ideas, my words. That's worth so much more that you could put a price
It's
on because
invaluable.
these things take so much time. Especially we deal with school projects.
We do.
And it's strenuous to a whole nother level.
It is.
So I can imagine work where there is money on the line and how you provide for yourself. That is on the
Livelihood.
line.
Yeah,
Also, it seems like she said, it was her dream job. Like, that is a big thing.
it is.
So on all parts, on all levels, that is so wrong, and I don't think you should keep silent.
And like you said, her livelihood is definitely on the line. This could be
Absolutely.
her dream job. She could go to a new city, go on vacation,
Yeah.
but now she has to kind of start from ground
She
zero.
has to start from scratch now because all of your ideas it seems like would be copyrighted or what's the thing that plagiarism. That's exactly what it is, plagiarism.
It is
so I mean, if you
plagiarism.
can prove that you did it first, yeah, sue. Why not? Or call the job and get her fired.
That's harsh, but because really when she goes on the job, how can she actually
How
do
can
the
she
job
thrive?
if
She can't.
she can't? That's not her work. So, yeah.
Honestly, keep helping her and make her fail.
So the next situation is I'm helping plan a family reunion, and my aunt wants to invite a family friend who is a notorious truth teller with no filter. This friend has already ruined multiple birthdays and family dinners. My aunt says that they've changed and that they're not a liability, but who in the end has the final say on the guest list? The aunts or the person that's planning the family reunion?
What do you think?
I would say if you're on the planning committee, because my family, my mom is on the planning committee and a couple other cousins, whoever is actually planning it, I think that they should have the final say so over the guest list. I think they should.
I think depending on if this is a family event, if this is at someone's house, whoever owns the house or whoever paid for the venue, that's who gets the final say because that's
yeah.
the part that's gonna really. But who do you want in your space? I mean, if this is a person is a liability, and I know my family can get a little rowdy, not physical or anything. Nobody's
a lot of
hurting each other,
personality,
but yeah,
yeah.
they're very big personalities, and there are some people who's like, oh, you're inviting them, okay. And it's not that bad in our family, but there is like eye roll sometimes for certain people. But I mean, I can imagine that some family members get really chaotic.
Yes.
And especially if it's like, I mean, it is a family reunion, so
is.
it is for the whole family. You can't really exclude somebody from a family reunion.
True.
I mean, I guess you could, but I mean,
Or we wouldn't necessarily exclude, but let's withhold some information.
sure.
Withhold some information.
Tell them
like,
the wrong time.
Right. Tell them the wrong time or say, hey, maybe you can't go to the family dinner because you've had a history of ruining that.
Honestly,
but
yeah.
we're going to have a field day. So maybe you can do that instead. I would say the most important event, I wouldn't extend the invitation to them because you want to make sure that it's smooth sailing. Everybody enjoys themselves. And if you're inviting somebody who has a history of kind of ruining the vibe, ruining the mood, maybe hold off on that invitation.
Hold off on it. And the fact that, what is it, grandma wants him to come?
Or I think it's auntie.
Auntie wants them to come? Okay. Maybe it's her child. I don't know.
It might be.
I can imagine that can get really sticky because if you don't invite them, the people who want that person invited would feel some type of way, including the person who is not invited.
Right.
And I could imagine that they could probably say the same for somebody else in the family. So it does need to be fair and it does need to be a conversation,
Right.
not just with the other people who are attending and the planning committee, but also the person who is
The troublemaker.
the troublemaker.
Yeah.
Sit them down. You have rules. You have rules to abide by if you want to come to this event.
Right.
Because we can't have what happened last time happen again or whatever the case may be. Just try to figure it out. But I understand, girl. Let's go on break first.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Laundry Day. So we're gonna get started with our next question. Are you ready?
I'm ready, or
Okay.
at least I think I am.
I hope so. All right. I overheard my friend on the phone bad mouthing our mutual friend. They've had their differences in the past and have always put me in the middle of it. I don't want to choose sides. I'm not sure what to do. Yikes. I actually have had that happen to me before.
I have to.
It was probably a long time ago where I'm not even sure what the name for it was, where there's one person on the phone and then there's another person on the phone on mute and then trying to get me to talk bad about another friend. And I didn't. Oh, thank God I didn't.
I call that a setup.
It was really a setup. It was and it was real shady. Not friends with them anymore. But
glad.
I mean, it can get really weird and awkward when you have those feuds, especially in a trio.
Yes,
Because
trios.
it can get sticky. It
can.
really can get messy, especially if you have messy friends. Because sometimes I have messy friends. I mean, I like the drama sometimes, but not too close in my friend group.
Yes.
And if they're really at it and not in like a fun and jokey way, like they're really upset with each other, it makes me very uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
So you were on the phone with your friend and you overheard the bad mouthing of the mutual friend, but they put you in the middle of it. Honestly, I would call both of them out. I wouldn't call them out at the same time. That's a little too messy. But I would definitely have an individual conversation with them and let them know, hey, you have your own differences in life and with friendships. You're going to have differences. That's not an issue. But putting me in the middle of it and especially bad mouthing the other one, that's when you draw the line. Because it gets to a point where, like you said, you're being messy. You're not actually trying to come to a resolution. And then you're also involving me in it too.
exactly.
I could understand if I'm the mediator and we want to come to common ground, but if everybody's just bad mouthing one another, there's nothing that can be done. And at that point, sometimes you just have to wipe your hands clean and just let the friendship go.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes being the mediator isn't a bad thing all the
not a
time. It
bad
can be
thing.
exhausting. It really can.
Definitely
Especially if it
draining.
happens so much and the issues are so stupid or small that you just feel like you're doing it all the time for no reason. But in those big situations where they really cannot see eye to eye, you're able to see the whole situation rather than one side of it. And maybe them hearing your side and how you're feeling about it and how it makes you uncomfortable can really bring them together so they can figure it out, hopefully. Or if not, maybe disperse a little bit on the friendship.
Yes.
Sorry.
My lasting notes, I would say not necessarily to choose sides because they are both your friends.
Yeah.
I would definitely say you guys need to talk it out.
Talk it out. Yeah.
Because it gets, like you said, it can be draining being the mediator. And sometimes your responsibility is to simply be the friend.
Exactly.
And sometimes being the friend, you are the mediator, but that's draining. So I would say have the conversation individually, remove yourself, and let them figure it out.
Yep. That's as good as you're going to get from us. Yes. Because I like to end friendships. Alrighty. Where are we at now?
We are right here.
Okay. I'm in a lead position at my job, and someone in another department has been talking bad about me.
What's in the air? Why is everybody bad mouthing?
It's the season.
guess
I'm
so.
not over this person in any way, but I value my job and my position. I've had a conversation with her boss, who is also my boss, and it went nowhere. This particular girl has caused other problems, but everyone seems to walk on eggshells around her. I'd like to talk to her myself to get down to the real problem because it's a small staff and it's awkward.
Workplace drama.
Workplace drama. I hate it, but it happens. It's kind of inevitable. You're there 40 hours a week sometimes in each other's faces. It can get annoying.
It can.
Especially when somebody is talking bad about you at work. Like,
Yeah, that's a
and
tricky situation.
it's not really clarified here. Is it talking bad about your work or is it talking bad about you specifically?
Right.
Because that is two different things.
Yeah.
Because if your work ethic is just terrible and you're not good at your job, yes, people are going to talk about you.
They are.
But talking about you personally in any way is just uncalled for, no matter how good or bad you are at your job. So yeah, that's a really tough one, and it says that she's not over that person, but she has a higher position. So,
This is tricky.
and then you've already talked to the.
You've already talked to the.
You've
Honestly,
already did your due diligence by talking to her
The
manager
higher up.
or.
This is
I mean, yeah, the
tricky.
next part would be to talk to her yourself or go to HR. I mean,
I
I
would
guess would be the
say-
step above.
I think at the end of the day, we're all humans, and a simple conversation solves a lot. And clearly, there's some type of disconnect between them and the coworker. I would say, at the very least, have a conversation and say, hey, you know, sometimes it feels like there's a little conflict, or sometimes it just feels like sometimes we can't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? Did I say something that offended you? Or
Exactly.
just because sometimes with people coming from different cultures and different backgrounds, sometimes you say certain things and you don't realize that you may have hurt somebody's feelings, or they may have misinterpreted what you said. So, and that can lead to people not justifying the back talking, but it can lead to people kind of having a shift in feeling towards you. And although it was her responsibility to address that when she was offended or upset, having the conversation can help smooth things over.
Yeah.
If the conversation doesn't work out after that, HR.
HR for sure.
HR.
And I think like talking to the other boss and hopefully having that on record somewhere to where if you do decide to have a conversation with her one-on-one, then that's already recorded that you went above. So yeah, I would say try, because you never know. She might have been offended by something. She might just have something going on personally with herself.
Right.
So I mean, don't take it too personally, because this is also your job and you like this job, as you say in here. So if it's something that you can ignore it. But if it's not, then have the conversation or go to HR. Alrighty, we're going to the next one.
Yes. So
Alrighty.
I've been realizing lately that I'm always the one reaching out to my friends, whether it's making plans, checking in, or trying to stay connected. If I don't initiate, I often don't hear from them at all, and it's starting to feel one-sided. At what point do I pull back and rebuild my social circle?
I think you should always be building your social circle.
should.
I mean, I just feel like, I'm not sure if you're an adult or a teen or whatever, but as an adult, you should always be trying to network and build relationships, whether that's socially, professionally, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, maybe trying to stay connected. I mean, other people have things going on in their lives too. You can't think that they can drop everything to come hang out with you whenever you want them to. Life just does not work that way, unfortunately. I wish I could drop everything and go have brunch with the girls every Sunday.
Yes, every day actually. For
Every
me.
day,
I love
right? Every day. But no, I can't, sadly. So they can't either. So yeah, but the fact that you're always the one to initiate, that's sad, because everybody should be able to come up with something to do, even if it's hanging out at the house, cooking, going to the library,
Right.
going to the park,
Right.
walking. I don't know. There's so many things, so many quick, cheap, easy things to do that you could just hang out and kind of connect with each other, especially if that's what you're needing, because
Yeah.
I can tell that's something that you're really wanting and needing right now. But just having a conversation with them might help, hopefully. And then depending on their response to that conversation, that's when you really know whether you need to rebuild or try again.
I would say my opinion is a little different. I would say that I've definitely been on this end of initiating hangouts and seeing some of my friends hanging out and the invitation not being extended to me. So this was more of things I experienced kind of in high school and then the beginning of my college career.
Yeah.
So it can definitely sting. Like you said, I think that you should always be connecting and meeting new people. But when you meet that tight-knit circle, those
Yeah.
close friends, you start to view them a little differently. They start to be family. And so it can hurt and feel a little one-sided when you're constantly the one checking in, when all the life things are going on and people don't reciprocate that. I think reciprocation in friendships, relationships is one of the biggest things that people want to feel. And you start to kind of question yourself and kind of feel down when you're seeing everybody else living life, inviting their friends out to different things, and nobody's extending the invitation, or they're just not checking in at all, even if they're not wanting to hang out. So I would definitely say don't let that discourage you. I would say use this as an opportunity to connect with other people. At any point in time in your life is always an opportunity to rebuild your social circle. Don't let it just be because your main group of friends is not including you in different things. Always take it as an opportunity to grow and expand and meet different people.
That is very true. Really good advice.
Yes.
Alrighty, so with that, we're going to take another break. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. All right, so we have our next question. It's going to be, okay, I'm in my late 20s. I don't go to college. I didn't go to college after high school, and I feel like I'm behind compared to others my age. How do I define success on my own terms?
So, I am not in my late 20s, but I'm in my 20s. I feel like that should count for something.
Sure.
I would say, even though I took the route of going to college, it wasn't until I actually got into this space that I realized all the other options that I had. And I wish that I would have taken a step back and realized, what do I actually want? I think a lot about defining your success is realizing what success even means to you. And I think a lot of people think success means, okay, after high school, you go to college. But college is 4 years of studying and going through classes that don't necessarily align with what you're getting your degree in.
Right.
So a lot of times people can feel like, ugh, what am I doing here? So I would say take the time to realize what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
College doesn't define success. It could be trade school. It could be starting your own business. It could be traveling the world, starting a nonprofit. It's so many different things that success looks like. So I would first start by saying, what are the things that make you happy, bring you passion, and kind of just figure out what's your mission in life.
Yes, that is absolutely true, because I started college in my mid to late 20s. And as of right now, I'm graduating at 30 years old. I know, right? Crazy. So it's never too late. I hear that all the time. Like when I tell people that my age, then that I'm graduating college for the first time, it's like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. I never thought that, I could do it. And now you make me want to go back and do it. And it's inspiring. It's not easy at all. I feel like maybe going to college in the beginning, 18, 19, 20, sure, it might be easier. But says who, I guess. I mean, there's no timeline to it. I know there are people in our classes right now that are in their 30s, 40s. And there was even a class I had like 50 or 60-year-old.
Yeah.
It's really never too late.
It's not.
So, I mean, like you were saying, find something that makes you happy. And if that means going to school and honing in on your skill, sure. But if that means finding your passion and traveling the world or whatever, do that too. I mean, there's no defined level of success. I mean, nobody really has the answer to it all. Success is what you make it. So if you feel like you are happy and successful and you are doing well for yourself, then congratulations. All righty. So
That's all the questions that we have. Now we're going to go into our static shock moment. So the static shock question for today is, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be and why? This is a good one. This takes off a little bit of the heat. We were thinking about our passions. We were thinking bad-mouthing coworkers and friends, family reunion drama.
So now we had all the bad friends before. So now we can choose our cartoon friends.
Yes.
I think Mickey Mouse. Classic. Everybody gets along with Mickey Mouse.
They do.
Young, old, male, female, like whatever. Anybody can hang out with Mickey Mouse and his whole gang, the crew, Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse, everybody, Goofy. I think Mickey Mouse and the gang would be my crew.
Okay, I love that.
I think I could blend in with them.
I think you could. I think you could.
Yeah.
I would say it would have to be Barbie for me. It would have to be Barbie for me. Number one, I would, of course, want to raid her closet.
Of course.
Number one. Number two, Barbie, she has been so many different things.
Yes.
And we kind of talked about what does success look like. And I think a big part of success is putting yourself in different shoes, putting yourself in different spaces to see what do I even like.
Barbie is the image of
Barbie
success.
is the image of success. I mean, she was an astronaut. She was a
was.
chef.
She
Like,
was.
she does so many different
And she was
things.
also like a dog walker and
Yes.
like a cashier.
Yes.
And she was happy.
Yes, she was happy. So I think I would learn a lot from Barbie as far as even though you might not be in the space that you want to be or that you intended to be, you can always find happiness in that space.
That's
and
true.
also, once again, raiding her closet.
Of course.
Yes.
And driving the Malibu car.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning
Yes.
into our episode of Laundry Day. And keep writing us in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.